As the United States and Iran teeter on the brink of open war, Tehran has sent a deadly and unmistakable signal to its enemies with a high-profile execution case. Amid soaring tensions, Iranian authorities publicly announced that they have executed a man accused of spying for Israel. The development was reported on January 28 by Iranian state-aligned outlet Press TV, which framed the case as a victory against foreign espionage. Iran's judiciary claimed that Hamid Reza Sabeh Ismailpour had assisted a failed Israeli sabotage operation on Iranian soil. Officials say Ismailpour was first arrested in April after security services flagged what they described as covert foreign contacts tied to him. Authorities stressed that the verdict was confirmed by Iran's Supreme Court following what they called a complete and lawful judicial process. According to the charges, Ismailpour allegedly maintained direct online contact with officers from Israel's Mossad intelligence agency. Investigators claimed he transmitted classified documents to Israel using encrypted communication channels. The probe also alleged that cryptocurrency payments from Mossad were routed through exchange offices and ultimately ended up in family-linked bank accounts. Iranian officials said the spy ring had targeted missile-related facilities belonging to the Defense Ministry in 2022. The court sentenced Ismailpour to death on charges of espionage and ongoing cooperation with Israel. The ruling further ordered the confiscation of all his assets alleged to be linked to Mossad funding. As per Press TV, Ismailpour established encrypted contact with Mossad handlers through online channels and exchanged emails with a handler identified only as Mike from Israel. He shared personal and professional details to build trust with the spy agency, followed strict security protocols, and relied on encrypted platforms for all communication. He placed items at designated drop points inside Iranian cities and conducted surveillance on sensitive locations and movements. He moved equipment between safe locations for Mossad operatives and carried out vehicle transfers in Isfahan and Lorestan provinces. Some of the transported cars were later found to contain explosive materials. He guarded a rural safe house and retrieved a hidden mobile phone, collected electronic devices concealed inside everyday objects, and photographed classified documents using temporary access privileges. He then transmitted the sensitive files directly to Israeli intelligence, supporting a sabotage plot that targeted Iran's missile facilities in 2022, and remained in contact with Mossad handlers until his arrest by Iranian security forces. The execution was announced just as Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was warning Iran against launching any direct attack on Israel. "We have dealt a severe blow to Iran's terrorist activities. It is true that the Iranian axis is trying to recover, but we will not allow it. Should Iran make the grave mistake of attacking Israel, we will respond with force." Netanyahu's warning came at a time when Iran's proxy groups across the region have loudly thrown their support behind Tehran. On January 26, Hezbollah declared that it would not remain neutral if either the United States or Israel launched strikes against Iran. In Iraq, fighters from Kataib Hezbollah were seen lining up to register for so-called suicide operations in support of Iran. At the same time, Yemen's Houthi rebels issued fresh threats targeting commercial shipping routes, signaling their readiness to escalate. US-Tehran tensions are sharply rising as American carriers and warplanes move steadily closer to Iranian territory. The USS Lincoln Carrier Group is now deployed in the Middle East, accompanied by destroyers and a full complement of strike fighters. Meanwhile, the United States has launched multi-day readiness drills at bases near Iran's borders. US crews are practicing rapid deployment, dispersal, and long-term sustainment of warplanes in a potential combat scenario. All this unfolds as Donald Trump boasts that another beautiful armada is floating beautifully towards Iran, emphasizing his show of force.
And in June, we obliterated Iran's nuclear capacity in Operation Midnight Hammer. You saw that. People have been waiting for 22 years to do that, and we were right at the end. They were about a month away from having a nuclear weapon. We had to do it. And by the way, there's another beautiful armada floating beautifully toward Iran right now. So we'll see. I hope they make a deal. I hope they make a deal. They should have made a deal the first time.
Earlier, Trump told Axios that the situation in Iran is in flux after he sent what he called a big armada into the region. That deployment followed Trump's promise of help for the Iranian people during a deadly crackdown on protests. Later, Trump softened his tone, saying that Iran had halted the execution of protesters after international pressure. Human rights groups, however, say roughly 36,500 people were killed in the latest wave of protests and crackdowns, according to Iran International. Tehran, for its part, continues to blame the United States and Israel for the unrest and vows it will resist all foreign pressure on its internal affairs.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.